Are we rolling? Oh, okay. I'm Richard Halberg, CEO of Northbridge Solutions. At Northbridge, we've been helping businesses navigate change since 1998. We were there for digital transformation, cloud adoption, agile culture, and now, of course, artificial intelligence. People keep asking if it's going to replace human workers. And yes, my God, some still ask that, and hence the logic that something, but that framing is needlessly negative. It comes from a very labor-centered way of thinking. I made a difficult decision at the last board meeting. Well, not too difficult, to be honest. Necessary. As part of Northbridge's first serious move into artificial intelligence, I adopted a new AI replacement model. Gary. Gary is an AI mannequin powered by algorithms, adaptive systems, cloud infrastructure, in other words, people say with confidence in meetings. And I'm told he learns, which already puts him ahead of some of our previous hires. Bringing him into the company gave me an opportunity to take a more honest look at how Northbridge was actually structured. We went from 150 employees to roughly 6 or 7.
I'm Linda Mercer, head of people and culture here at Northbridge. So after the layoffs, or a great pruning as I call it, it's completely natural for employees to be looking for a little more support. We felt it was the right time to put something more intentional in place. Because when people feel unsettled, the answer isn't to step back and hope culture repairs itself. No, it's to lean into it. A little harder and deeper. Until it clicks. That's also why our CEO will have a direct role in the sessions, which frankly, not every CEO would make time for. Some people won't fully appreciate that, of course, but that doesn't make it any less generous. And I might understand that for some people, being asked to join something like that can feel uncomfortable. Richard, before we move into the broader messaging, I do think it would help to acknowledge that a few additional team members have now chosen to step away.
Hold on. God, I cannot believe it. These people survive one perfectly reasonable corporate correction and still cannot manage to move forward. Jesus, how many of them have now decided to abandon ship?
Slightly below the already reduced number.
Is it funny?
No, of course not. I was simply recalibrating to the updated staffing picture. Although in practical terms, we may now be entering a phase of extremely efficient communication.
In practical terms, you did not say anything useful. I asked for information and you gave me nothing. God, there are moments, Linda, when you sound less like HR and more like a software preview.
I understand, but I am simply trying to frame the situation in a way that remains constructive.
Oh, shut up. You said efficient communication. Communication with whom, Linda? Look. We are about to sign Wexley Meridian, and I need Gary, upright, operational, and capable of basic human illusion by then. Please tell me IT is at least still standing, because at this rate, the only remaining dialogue in this company will be between me and an overqualified shop mannequin.
Steve is still with us. He remains our senior IT resource. However, Sununu has now terminated his contract.
Sununu?
And as far as I understand, he was effectively the second half of whatever Gary is currently becoming.
Sununu? Who in God's name is called Sununu? That sounds like a budget Muslim airline.
Sununu was in many ways a quiet but structurally relevant part of Gary's developmental ecosystem.
I don't care. Look, we need Gary delivering value, not standing there like a premium coat rack with strategic potential. So, Linda, let's start again. How many actual humans do we have left in this building? Or is it just me, you, and Steve, the IT guy, staring at a mannequin?
Let me see. We have Steve, Senior IT, Margaret, Accounting, Rajiv, Account Management, and that is it for now. Well, and Gary, he is not human, but he is part of the staff now.
3 people and a mannequin. Brilliant. We've gone from a restructured company to a carpool. So no sales, no operations. So who exactly is overseeing projects?
Operations
No, wait, not oversee them, Linda. Do them. Who is actually doing the projects? God, this place is becoming a digital graveyard, and Gary is the only one who looks happy about it. We have more floors in this building than people. That was already absurd, but this is ridiculous.
I understand, but we are not without structure, and
let us not forget the streaming crew. They chose us because we were sold as one of the first companies to integrate AI directly into the operation. But what exactly are we showing them now? A near-empty building, 3 surviving staff, and Gary standing in the lobby like a screensaver that's come to life?
The narrative is still intact, Richard, and that is precisely why the recruitment side is already moving.
Fantastic. Once again, I ask for a solution, and you give me a poem. So I suggest recruitment, which at this point is just you, starts behaving more like recruitment and less like a TED Talk, because right now the only things in this building with a future are the coffee machines.
Oh, if I may offer one positive note, we do have some good news on the commercial side. We have identified a highly promising candidate for sales and account management. His name is Daniel.
Samuel. A meat sack with a tie. Does he actually close deals or just occupy space? We need to show more movement, Linda. At the very least, the minimum level of activity we budgeted for after the layoffs.
We believe he is clinically perfect for the role.
Hi, my name's Daniel, and I'm really excited about the opportunity to bring my skills to Northbridge. I'm a very people person. Sorry, can I do that again? Wait, is it recording? How do I delete the last? Oh no.
And by the way, why do you keep using the plural? Is that some HR technique for coping with grief?
Oh, it is simply how the function speaks. One continues to use the plural out of professionalism, even when our current head cat makes that linguistically ambitious.
Good Lord, grammar as a coping mechanism. It's fascinating, Linda. You use the plural to pretend there's still a department, but we both know that if you had a heart attack right now, the only thing that would notice is the motion sensor lighting going off.
One moment, Richard. I'm going to pause my camera for a second. Sorry, Richard. I just had to handle a private people matter off camera for a moment.
Well,
in any case, I do think this brings us back to the more immediate internal priority, which is communication and visibility.
HR has advised, well, Linda, as she is the only one in HR now, that after our recent staffing adjustments, it may be beneficial for me to engage more directly with the broader team, which is ridiculous. It seems some of them now require occasional visual confirmation that leadership still exists and the company hasn't fully folded in on itself. Fragile little creatures. Here we go. The human touch. Fine. But remember, Gary will stay on every call.
Of course. Just so I understand the need properly, what do you feel Gary's presence would contribute in those meetings?
I need a visual reference point that doesn't have that dead behind the eyes employee look. It's bad for my own productivity to look at people who've clearly given up on life.
People cannot see leadership. They fill the silence with hallucinations. And in the current climate, Richard, an unmanaged imagination is a liability we simply cannot afford to subsidize.
All right, stop there. God. Fine, I'll do it. If visible breeding is now a leadership function, then so be it.
Perfect. I'll frame it as a multi-layered leadership initiative. Gary provides the stoic stability, you provide the proof of life, and I'll manage the expectations. It's a very robust visual sandwich.
A visual sandwich? What the hell are you talking about, Linda? It's a meeting, not a picnic. Leave the sandwich for your next yoga retreat. And which part of it exactly is meant to reassure people?
It's about perceived continuity, Richard. The goal is to create a visible structure of leadership, stability, and managed presence across the call.
Okay, perceived continuity, whatever that means. The point is this. If Gary is going to sit in on these meetings, I expect him to become incrementally more useful. A nod, a timing cue, the occasional look of quiet agreement, something.
Sure, Steve is already working through that, and once Gary's behaviors are ready, he should offer a more reliable meeting presence than the human side is consistently managed.
Steve?
Yes, the senior IT.
Okay, whatever. As I said, by the time the Wexley Meridian meeting comes around, I need Gary able to handle the visible basics without collapsing into a separate conversation.
Exactly. At this stage, even some basic paper handling should be enough to create a very reassuring sense of momentum.